Today we'll be learning how to make taho at home from scratch, fresh from soya beans. Numero uno, we have here our soya beans. This is 1/4 kilo. And then we put it in our beaker because we're gonna have here a science experiment. And then I just rinse it slowly. After draining it, I'm gonna add 3 times the amount of water compared to the beans. So it is 400 ml for the beans, and then times 3 is 1200 water because the beans can expand 2 to 3 times. Like this one, this expanded 2 times its size.
Step 1 is to boil water. This is for your boba or your tapioca. I prioritize this because cooking boba or tapioca takes long. Now that our water is boiling, time to add the boba. For me, I'm using boba because that's what we have at home. And when you add it, you have to stir it so that the bobas won't be sticking to each other. But don't overstir it because the bobas would be deformed. Time to drain our soybeans.
After draining, I'm rinsing it with clean water, clean running water.
So I'm putting my soya beans here in a food processor. So I'm just putting everything there. And I'm gonna add 3.5 cups of water, but not fully yet because it might spill when I do the food processing. So this is how it looks like after everything is blended. But I can feel there are plenty of bits there. Now the next part is the straining of the soybeans that has been food processed. So I have here my sako sa harina because I don't have cheesecloth and I don't have plans of buying, so let's just use this. Use whatever you have at home. Then just put it inside the strainer like that. And then everything in there. Because now strain it. It's actually very satisfying to do this. This one is the excess of what we have drained so far. This is what we call sapal daw po. This is for the baboy, and for this one we don't have baboy at home. We're just gonna put this in the plants, and I think our plants would love this. Now this is all that we have gathered. In the videos I saw, they actually take out the froth on top, but for me, I won't do that. By the way, I just stirred the boba so that it won't stick to each other. We have to stir it occasionally so that the bottom won't be burnt. It looks like it's perfectly cooked. Time to taste just one bite. It's perfectly soft now. Our soya milk has now boiled. Now we are simmering it for 5 minutes and occasionally stirring it so that it won't be burnt in the bottom. It really smells like soya milk now. Just want to drink it. While we are simmering the soya beans, we're gonna have the gulaman making. This is gelatin powder, so 1 tablespoon, and let's put another half because we're gonna make 1.5 cup of the soya. I'm just gonna add water and we're gonna mix it. We're doing this so that it won't be clumpy when you add it in the soya. Okay? There. Our gelatin is ready. It has been 5 minutes now, and now we're gonna turn off the fire. Now we're gonna make the first kind of taho making. So we turn on the fire. Then we add 2 cups of soy milk. I'm gonna bring it to boil, and then I'm adding here the gelatin mixture. We're just mixing everything there. Now we can see it's slowly boiling.
After it's perfectly cooked, we put it in a clear container.
I don't want to take out the frost really. So there, we will just let it cool down. Now let's do the second way of making the taho. First, we will add 1/2 tablespoon of cornstarch, 1 tablespoon of water. Stir it until it dissolves. And then you add 1/2 teaspoon of Epsom salt. Oh, there. And then you just stir it until everything dissolves. Okay, that's good. Step is to prepare your big container. In this big container, you put your solution here in the middle, and then you pour in your soy milk. You pour it slowly so that you don't cause too much agitation. There. In this, you just have to move it slightly for now because we have to add water. You add boiling water at the side. Your goal is to make it same level as your soy milk. Hot water should be the same level as your soy milk. Now our soy milk is with hot water at the sides, which is the same level as the milk. It's murky, I cannot show it. Basta ganun yan, guys. Now it's time to simmer it. We don't boil it, but we simmer it. It's very low. I'm gonna let this simmer for 15 to 20 minutes until it curdles. It's cooking. Let us do our syrup. Number 1, start the fire, and then we just add 1/2 cup brown sugar and 1/2 cup water. There. And let us stir it. One minute later. Looks like boba, but it's actually sugar. This is our syrup. After 4 minutes, this is how it looks like. And I'm gonna turn off the heat now. I'm satisfied with it. This is how it looks like for the other one.
20 minutes later, this is how it looks like. It is a legit taho, everyone. Testing it now, and it is real.
So we have two orders, and I'm gonna serve it this that way. See how perfect that is. That one. Guys, tell me, it looks very perfect, diba?
Going back to experiment number one, 2 hours later, it still didn't become a gelatin. Now I'm thinking of making this a soya milk
This
then.
is the other half, and I'm just adding syrup there. I've added syrup a while ago as well. After 5 hours of freezing my soya milk, I realized it became a gelatin. I mean, the first and simplified way of cooking works. So here. Oh, oh my gosh, that is taho, everyone.
Now it's time to make the conclusion of our experiment. The two taste the same, like taho, but there's a difference, huge difference in terms of consistency. Experiment number one really tasted like a gelatin, so it wasn't really that satisfying compared to traditional method, which is soft, like real taho. Another comment is in experiment number one, you eat it cold because gelatin needs to be cold so that it would be firm. And the consistency depends on the amount of gelatin powder that you have used. For experiment number two, you eat it hot, just like the taho that we buy early in the morning or late in the afternoon as a snack. Another thing is di siya maarte sa amount of cornstarch and Epsom salt. It is not as demanding as the simplified method, which is good and easier. In conclusion, nothing beats traditional method. That's my personal opinion though. Well, you try it at home and send me a feedback of which method works for you.